We are live. Uncensored Holidays, week 2. Hello. Happy Thursday. I'm so excited. We had such good feedback on week 1's Uncensored Holidays conversation. And it really just feels like I'm supposed to be here talking about these things. Hopefully hitting home with somebody and making a difference somewhere, right? That's the intention. That's the goal. And so that's my intention here with you guys is we get to create our own uncensored holidays. And just like last time, I am hopping on Facebook Live and Instagram Live. So excuse me if I have like a diverted view. I'm looking at both screens, but I'm here with you. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for being here for Uncensored Holidays week 2. Last week, we talked about alignment. We talked about intuition. We talked about listening to your body. If you were here last week, let me know how that hit. I got a couple of messages that was like, I just needed that. Yeah, that's what happens, right? Sometimes when these lives come on, because this happens to me throughout the day too. Sometimes lives come on and I see people come on live and I get a little notification. I'm like, oh, I want to watch that. And I tune in and it was exactly what I need. Good morning, Melissa. I love you and I miss you. So if you're here, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to click on it and join us. All right, last week, alignment, intuition, and listening to the body. This week, I want to talk about some really simple activations for you to be in the desired state that you want. We talked about this just a tiny bit, but I want you to remember, if you haven't yet stated it for yourself, what is the feeling that you wish to have over the next couple of weeks? And that's including the holidays, and that's including like into 2023. I want you to sit here for a minute just to think, what feeling do you want to have? Maybe it's excited, joyful, grateful, silly. If you have a pen, just jot it down real quick. Sticky note, jot it down. If you don't have that, just put it up here and put it right here and just like log it into your body for a minute. Good morning, Sue. What feeling do you desire to feel over the next couple of weeks? I want you to identify this because how do we assure that that happens, right? You're like, that's great, Gwen. I desire to feel excited. However, I know I have this, and this to do, and I'm not excited about those things. So how do we, good morning, how do we assure that that feeling happens for you? So remember this. Remember, grounded, Melissa. I love it. Grounded. That's so beautiful. Grounded. And you know what? Grounded to me could mean something completely different than grounded to Melissa, right? Your feeling doesn't have to make sense to anybody else but yourself because you know what that feeling feels like. My guess, Melissa, is that you felt grounded before and you're desiring that feeling again. So you're not choosing a feeling that you've never felt before, I don't think. I just think that you're picking something that you're like, that it would feel really good to feel this way in the holidays. Okay, so name it, own it, write it down. Remember that the body is sensitive to energy and frequency. So we can literally be in the room and pick up the energy of somebody else without even intentionally doing that. And when I thought about this, I thought about the subway. Because that's pretty hard, right? You're like sardine can squished, especially around the holidays. And I'm thinking like New York City, right? Thousands of people on this train, whether it's going to work, coming from work, going to downtown, there's just so many people on this train and they're all squished in together. How do you prevent absorbing the frequency of the people around you? Now, our holidays are also like that. Granted, you're not squished into a train. It's not like a sardine can, but you're surrounded by a lot of people with their own feelings. How do we rest assured that we are not going to pick up their energy? Can I tell you, I will tell you a quick story about that. This is actually my sister's story, but I'm sure she wouldn't mind that I shared it because this is going to allow you to put a visual to making sure we don't pick up other people's energy. So my sister, my family's from Queens. My mom's from Queens. My dad's from another area outside of New York. And so they're both from New York. My sister decides she wants to go to school in New York, and then she ends up living in Queens. And maybe this was when she was in Astoria. I can't remember. Anyway, she has to take the train into the city, right? So there was one day where she was on the train minding her own business, just like everyone does. Like no one talks to each other. They're all plugged in, right? She's on her phone. And all of a sudden, this image shows up on her phone. Now, if you've ever received an airdrop from somebody, right? Your Bluetooth is on, and if you're in the vicinity of someone else's phone, you can send them a picture via airdrop. So it's not a text, it's literally over the Bluetooth technology. And so a photo will come up and it will say, do you want to accept this airdrop? Now, I won't tell you exactly what this photo was, but obviously this person on the subway does this all the time. It was not an appropriate photo, okay? She basically got airdropped a dick pic. So luckily it says, do you want to accept this airdrop? And she clicked no. So, it's just so easy sometimes when you're on your phone, you get a notification and you're not even really paying attention, but you just click yes. And so I kind of thought about that here with the energy of other people around the holidays. It's like, do you want to accept this airdrop of bitterness? No, I don't. Do you want to accept this airdrop of ungrateful? No, I don't. So when you're thinking about owning your own feelings, creating your own feelings and staying in them, and not absorbing the energy of other people, I want you to imagine your airdrop comes up and you hit no. Okay, you get in the energy of somebody else and you're like, nope, cancel. I do not accept that airdrop. Okay, this is what I want you to imagine when you go forth. I don't know if that's a good visual for you, but for me, that works. So how do we not accept the airdrop? Well, we have to do a little bit of prep work in our body. We have to kind of teach our body how to not absorb that energy. Because you've been in a room before where you walk in and you can feel that they've had an argument. People in the room have had an argument. The air is thick, like you've literally walked into the thick of it, right? You feel the energy of the other people. So in the body, we have energy centers. If you're familiar with chakras, that's where we're going right now. Technically, we have infinite energy centers. We have energy centers, like, I don't even think they can all be counted. I don't know if they've all been counted. But what we typically see, especially in yoga, but in most conversations, we see that we have 7 energy centers, 7 chakras. And they originate from the root down by our sexual organs, all the way up to the crown of our head in 7 different areas. And each of these energy centers, each of these chakras, is tuned to a vibration. So they emit a certain vibration in the body, frequency, right? They therefore are attuned to a certain music note and a color, and they're also all connected to an organ. Each energy center is connected to an organ in the body. So let's go back and think about that for a second. Last week we talked a little bit about flu season and how maybe it's not that this bacteria, this virus, is around more. It's just that we're more susceptible because of our energy, right? So when we think about our energy centers being misaligned or blocked, it's so easy for that organ to fall ill because our energy is not flowing. So imagine, if you will, these 7 energy centers that flow up from our root to our crown, and they're like little pinwheels. And at each energy center, they're supposed to be flowing in a certain direction, okay? But when our energy is blocked there, when our frequency is down, it's either spinning the opposite way or not spinning at all. And so it creates this blockage where the energy can't flow up. And we need this open conduit in our body of energy flow so that we can be healthy and happy and access our feelings and be in tune with our gut, right? That's how we access our intuition. If we don't have clear channels for energy flow, we can't access our intuition. So our energy has to be flowing up this central tube. So imagine for a second a central tube from the bottom of your body to the top of your head, okay? When it's clear, we can magnetize anything we want to us. Desired feelings, desired things, we can magnetize it to us. When it's blocked, when we have a chakra that is blocked or an energy center that's blocked, we can't bring in what we desire. We can't be a magnet for those things because we're not vibing at our fullest frequency. We're not spinning, we're not open and allowing the central tube to be a channel to us. So everything that you desire, including the feeling that you thought of, right? Grounded, excited, joyful. Every one of those is available to you in the infinite universe all the time. If you look up right now and you're like, oh, there's the infinite universe. I'm kidding, you can't see it visually, but in your mind, if you look up and see the infinite universe, everything that you desire lives up there. It is all accessible to you. And when we have this clear energy center in our body, this energy channel, we can access those things. But when we're blocked, we cannot. So, first realization is that anything and everything is available for you at all times. It's already here. If you've thought about it, it's meant for you. If you've questioned it, it's meant for you. If you've desired something, it's meant for you. And it's all living in the infinite universe. You just have to tune your body in order to access it. That includes the feeling that you desire to feel around the holidays. That includes the activities, the way that the holidays go, like what they actually look like to you, available to you in the infinite universe. You just have to know how to access it and tune your body to it. So that feeling, that emotion is already out there, right? That vision of how you desire your holidays to look, already out there. Imagine your energy centers spinning. When we have the blockage, right, we have the sickness. So let's open them up. Let's open them up. I want to give you 4 ways. And if you have a pen, just jot these down. They're actually super simple. 4 ways that you can activate the energy centers, that you can start to open them up. And the first one's really easy because we do it every day, a million times a day, and we just don't think about it. The first one is breath. And the difference here is that we are intentionally breathing. So what I like to do with breath, you can either use this, actually that's 2 ways available that you can use your breath. One is when you're in the moment. One is when you're like, I'm overwhelmed, I'm stressed, maybe the kids are getting on your nerves. Like when you're in that overwhelmed state, you can take 5. So you remove yourself from a room, you go find a quiet space or just a space. It's oftentimes the bathroom. And you literally imagine when you breathe in, your breath coming in through your root chakra and falling all the way up to the top of your head and exiting your body. So you're imagining creating a clear channel with your breath. So I like to go in through my nose and like literally I'm moving with the breath. I'm activating it. I'm feeling it come in through the bottom and up through the top of my head. So you're activating that energy center as you breathe. And you just take 5 intentional breaths. That's it. 5 intentional breaths. As you're imagining the energy is flowing up to the top of your head, you're clearing the channel, and the feeling that you desire to feel is out here, and you can just grab it and hold on to it. Breath is the first one. It's super simple. You can use that when you're in the overwhelmed state, but also just once or twice a day, check in with your breath. Be intentional with your breath. And do that same thing. It takes less than 5 minutes. You can do it. The second one is using your voice. Now, I know this sounds kind of weird. Let me give you a back reason for why using your voice is an important activation for you to align yourself with how you desire to feel. Your vagus nerve in your body is probably one of the most important nerves in your body. And it is very, very, very long. And it is connected to your parasympathetic system, which is your stress response system. So it runs very, very long, like imagine from your throat to your womb, okay? I think it ends at your womb. Your womb is your life force, quite literally, where women create physical beings, right? But also our creative life force too. Men and women, creative life forces in the womb. Also, sacral energy center. Creativity, energy, when you're open in this space, when it's available, you have vibrancy, you have happiness, you have positivity, you feel satisfied, compassionate, intuitive. So when we use our voice, we are actually tuning the vagus nerve that runs from here to the womb. Tuning it because our voice is a vibration, which is a frequency that tunes the vagus nerve so that we can have a clear energy channel so that we can be positive and happy and grounded and satisfied and compassionate by using our voice. So that looks like, one, using your voice in a way where you ask for help, right? Because I guarantee you, if you have a partner in this life, our partners just want to help us. Our partners want to be available for us. If you truly love your partner, you want to be able to provide for them. And it goes both ways. Men, women, doesn't matter. Our partners want to provide for us. They want to make us happy. They want to make things easier. We have a really hard time, and I say we as women, asking for help. All you have to do is use your voice and ask for help. They want to help us. Okay, so don't feel like the burden of the schedule needs to be on you. Don't feel like shopping for all the Christmas presents needs to be on you. Don't feel like all the scheduling and the engagements and the saying yes or no to and the cooking food needs to be on you. Ask for help. That's one way that you can use your voice. The other way that you can use your voice is humming. Humming. What do people do when they're happy? You're cooking in the kitchen, you're humming to a song, right? You have music on, you're humming. You're tuning the vagus nerve, responsible for, connected to the parasympathetic system, where we're responsible for our response to stress. So if we tune that vagus nerve to not be stressed, it's connected to the other glands and energy centers in our body, and so it just creates this open channel. Hum, sing. The other thing our vagus nerve is responsible for is digestion and immune function and urine output and heart rate and blood pressure. Heart rate and blood pressure. Chanting and meditation, you've seen it before, right? You've seen people chanting in meditation. It's actively tuning the vagus nerve. You're literally changing the frequency in your body and clearing your energy channels. Okay, so number 2 is voice. I know that's a long one. Good morning, good morning. Number 3 is dance. This was the hardest one for me, honestly. I was a wallflower. I never liked to dance. I didn't like to be the center of attention. I would never get out on the floor. And it was all because I didn't know my body. And the only way that you can know your body is if you start experiencing your body. And that means that moving with it, seeing how things feel, what kind of music do you like? Do you want to dance fast? Do you want to dance slow? Like dancing like no one's watching because no one is. You're just dancing because it feels good. And not worrying about what it looks like and not worrying about if anyone's judging you because they're not. You're moving your body. I think it's the gazelle. I've told this story before, but for anyone who's new, the gazelle in fight or flight response. So if a coyote came out and they wanted to attack a gazelle, and the gazelle was in the middle of the field eating, and the gazelle goes down, right? They go down, and whether they got hit and they just got knocked out or whatever, they got stressed and they like fainted. When the gazelle goes down and eventually the coyote or the hyena or whatever is in the jungle goes away, when the gazelle gets back up, what its body does involuntarily is it shakes. Like its whole body, it shakes. And it does that to get rid of the stress from the fight or flight, to get rid of that energy that was there for that. So it shakes, it shakes, it shakes, it shakes, it moves its body, allows the energy to dissipate and move away. And then the gazelle gets back up and it goes back to the same field where it just got attacked because it's not attached to that fight or flight response. So dance, move your body, move the energy out. Literally one of the best things I started doing was dancing before I start writing my content. Opens up all these channels of clarity for me and makes me feel fun and exciting. And that's how I want people to feel when they read my content. Activated, fun, excited, right? So take your feeling of how you desire to feel, dance, and feel into that. Love shaking, yes. All right, the last one is space. Also another difficult one for me in the beginning. Give yourself time to be creative, which also means that you need to know what that means for you. Is it coloring? Is it reading? Is it writing? Is it drawing? This is a place where we release all perfectionism and we just do it because we like to. Where's your creative center? When you start using your voice and breathing intentionally and tuning your vagus nerve, you will activate the sacral, the womb, which is where our creation center is. You will start to realize that you love more things. Cooking, yes, like allow yourself space to do the things that you love. Life is meant to be full of that. So the only thing that you can control is your own vibration. You get to cancel on any airdrops that come in for anybody else's vibration. We are not accepting airdrops of frequencies of people that we don't desire to be like or feel like, right? So you're going to cancel. And when you control your vibration, when you're in charge of your vibration, you actually attract cooperative components that will align with what you desire. So you don't know it yet and you might not see them, but what you're doing when you control your vibration and you emanate in a way that you desire to feel, you're actually creating a force field of things to back you up, to help you feel this way more often than not. So my point is practice and keep going and believe that you are in charge of how you desire to feel, because you are. And if you get stuck, if you're in the midst of things and you're like, ask yourself, what is my point of attraction right now? How aligned am I? And if you're not feeling like you could, like your energy center is open and you're not able to access what's available to you in the infinite universe, well then get there. Breathe, dance, hum, sing, use your voice, create space to be creative. Do one of those 4 things and I promise you, you will be able to better access those feelings and those desires even faster than you had been before. So I hope that that is helpful. Let me know which activation you tried today, because it's easy to try one. Try them all and let me know how they feel. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here on week 2 of Uncensored Holidays, and I will see you next week.